Okay, I think I'm live actually. Let's see here. I am using this website called StreamYard. And see, I found out about StreamYard because I was watching this video that my friend Pafo linked me to, where it's like 65 arguments against veganism debunked, something like that. And I noticed the logo that said powered by StreamYard. And on my screen it's showing me that same logo here. It looks like it has a duck with headphones on or something, and that's cool. I don't mind that being on there because I want people to know about StreamYard if this turns out to work. So I just got a StreamYard account, and it had an option for me to link to other accounts. It let me link to Facebook and YouTube. Too bad it doesn't allow like streaming to like MeWe or Parler or some of those other lesser known sites. But most people are still on YouTube or Facebook. I hope that will change in the future. But anyway, so this is a test stream just because I'm testing out this software. I'm just testing it out to see how powerful StreamYard is because it seemed to work good for that vegan guy who did that video. I'm thirsty. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna do right now. I'm streaming to Facebook. It says that if I upgrade to one of the better plans, I can stream to both YouTube and Facebook at the same time, which would be cool. But then I'd have to upgrade to like a paid plan, and I'm just trying this out right now. Like in the future, if I actually wanted to pay money to upgrade to a paid plan, if StreamYard turned out to be really cool, then I might do that in the future. But this is just a test. So, and it'll probably work better once I have a newer computer. But this computer will probably work well enough for now. So I think that this is streaming to my Facebook page. I don't know for sure. I hope so. So, hey, I know. Maybe I should go to my Facebook page and see. Or what if there is a way? Wait, oh, wait, there's an invite button. Who can I invite? Let's see here. You can have up to 6 people on screen at once. Upgrade if you need more. Okay, let's see here. Here's an idea. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Facebook Messenger to just invite some people that I can think of, just in case there's some people on right now. Okay, I know some people that I want. Let's see here. We'll see how it goes. Let's see here. Who could I have on here? Let's see. I'm just kind of trying it out, and if nobody is actually available to join at this time, that's totally fine. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to think, is there anybody else who frequently is really cool that I could invite? Because I don't know who's all going to be up at this time or not, but let's see. There's got to be someone. There's got to be some. Oh, hey, I know. Okay. Okay. Yep. Well, I'm going to see if this works. Yeah. Let's see here. It would be cool if I had other people on here talking to me because that always makes things much more interesting. So I believe that I'm okay. Let's see if I'm still on here. Okay, yeah, I'm still going. Okay, so Right now, I hope that the audio is good. I hope that people can hear me. Anybody who's watching this, probably nobody right now because it has an eyeball with a 0 next to it. And I think that means nobody's watching, but that's okay because people can always watch later. Anyway, I haven't said anything important yet. So let me say something important. So here's how my day went, okay? So I slept in till about 1 because I was very naughty last night and I had the tendency to stay up. But I don't have a schedule right now because I'm not working right now because I took a personal leave of absence to give time for my knee to heal. And I've also been working out, lifting weights, and eating some good food, drinking a lot of soy and almond milk, that sort of thing. So I'm getting a lot stronger than I was. So I'm feeling pretty good. I just took a shower and I'm clean. So I got up at 1 and then I did some shopping. And then I was on my computer for a few hours and I was reading Pafo Ortiz's new book. He wrote several books, including The Portal of Adamastos. Oh, wait. Hey, Monique, is that you? Let's see. Wait, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, Monique is here. Yeah, Monique, I invited you. I thought you might be on because you had called me not too long ago. So here's the thing: is I saw this StreamYard logo on this video of this vegan guy debunking the arguments against veganism, and I thought, hey, I want to try that StreamYard thing out. Does that let me do cool live streams with guests and stuff? And so, okay, this is awesome. So now I know. See, because I sent that Facebook message to invite people onto this live stream, and you're the first one who came. I invited a few other really cool people too. So this is nice. We could have some real cool shows. So here's how this works: is this is actually streaming live to Facebook, and it said that if I upgrade to a premium plan, I could have it could stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time, something like that, which would be kind of cool too. But I'm just testing it out right now, so this is cool. So I was just talking about nonsense stuff, how my day went, and I was talking about how I made a deal with Pafo. See, because I've been doing some live streams through YouTube, usually just talking about stuff and replying to comments in real time. And I made a deal with Pafo, like, okay, I'll buy and read your book if you will read my unicorn book. So that's kind of deal. I'm trying to talk my friends into reading my unicorn book. Yeah, that's right. Yes, the unicorn. We're gonna have our unicorn symbol. Actually, this reminds me. Wait, there's something.
I'm gonna have to get to bed soon. I just but this was
Yeah. Wait, I found it.
yes, I bought that for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah, this is awesome. I should wear this when I do live streams, like seriously.
Yeah.
So this is great because this is interesting because one thing that I like about live stream services like this is that usually we've recorded our podcast through Zoom or Skype among our hosts, but when you do a live stream that's broadcast live, people are watching it and they can actually comment. So I think
great. We'll have to do that together because I would love that.
Yeah, I know. It was cool. See, because I tried it. I tried doing YouTube has their own live broadcasting feature, and so does Facebook. And there's some slight differences. Usually it's just the giant ones who do, the big companies. But I think StreamYard also lets you just record and do live streams that aren't necessarily have to be through those other platforms either. But this could work out. So I've spent a lot of time, working on getting my books published and then also reading Papa's book. And being an author is like a full-time job in and of itself.
Absolutely. Anything in the arts is really a full-time job. When people say, "Oh, you can do it as a hobby," no, you can't. Want to do it all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it takes so many hours.
Yeah.
And researching this pandemic, the only reason I could do that is because I had an emergency fund coming in for many months, but like all the information that I gathered and the information that I was like sending you, you were working. I wasn't. I know that you couldn't keep up with things.
Right.
If
That's
it hadn't
true.
been for me, you might not have known all that stuff because
That's true. I really
I
wouldn't have.
know you would like, I know you wouldn't have liked the vaccine, but you wouldn't have known like the covert criminal agenda behind this whole thing, which is like a new world order. And the people behind it, like Bill Gates and Fauci, and gosh, so many, Rockefeller Foundation. But anyway, I do have to go because I have work. I have to get those two documents in, which we won't mention.
Right.
And
Right.
I just would hope that we can utilize this platform for the love of truth, the Truthers Forum, and whenever we can manage to do another episode of the Celibate Vegan Voices.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll depend on who comes on at the time and what the topic ends up being. So, but even though it's only for a short time, thanks for joining me anyway. This is a great way to help me test to see how well this works or not.
Thank you. And I like your blue shirt. It's matching my background. And your pink unicorn is matching my shirt. So
yeah, this is so cute. I should use this thing more often.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing it.
All right. Awesome.
Listen to her. Bye.
All right.
I don't know how to leave here. I'll try.
I'm not sure.
I thought it says.
All right. That was so cool. So now we know that guests can join me. And so then what happened was I saw her on the screen there, and then I clicked on her picture and then it added her to the stream. So that was nice. So Monique was able to join me. Maybe somebody else will even join me, depending on who's on. Now, if I was planning on doing a major broadcast, something like that, I probably would, set it up in advance and before going live, make sure there were guests on, that kind of thing. But this was just for a test. But yeah, so like I was saying, being an author is a full-time job because like little things like I got notifications from Smashwords. For example, there were things like, for example, when my name would be different on the cover page of my book or the cover image, and it wouldn't match what my account was. It's complicated because my legal name is Chandler Klebs, but my pen name and the name I go by is Chastity White Rose. So trying to get everything configured just right with Smashwords, because Smashwords is really cool. See, my books are published on Amazon as both paperback and Kindle edition, but then also they are 3 of them are published on Smashwords. And I wonder, is there a way? Wait a minute. Hey, I know what I could try doing. I could test the screen share feature, so I can show people my books and stuff, for example. So I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to click the share screen option and see if it works. Okay, let's see here. Do I want to share? Let's see here. I'm going to share the entire screen so you guys can see the exact same thing I'm seeing. Okay, we'll see if this works or not. Okay, so here, whoa, this is actually really freaky. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can open up a new tab, and here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Amazon.com. We're going to go to Amazon.com first, and we're going to see, hey, recently viewed Sailor Moon S. Yes, I was watching Sailor Moon on Amazon Prime Video. That there's some really good episodes and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to search. First of all, I'll search for Chandler Klebs because most of my earlier books were published as Chandler Klebs before I became Chastity White Rose. Now, this is interesting because my most recent book, Chandler's Honesty, has me as the author of both Chandler Klebs and Chastity Rose, and that's good. So there's various things. So you see, here's the most recent book, and I have some art books. This is the one with the duck privileges. It's a $30 book, but it's full color. It's like well over 100 pages. It's definitely worth the price, to tell you that. It has some of my best art ever created. Now, this is the black and white art book. And this one, yeah, it has only black and white. And then this one was made John Klebs art, May the Horse Be With You. You as you'll notice, I loved horses and stuff for a long time. I've always loved horses. So we've got the unicorn, on the chessboard there. We've got the unicorn in my most recent book, and here we have zebras. We have zebras. That was one of the pre-selected images you could use in the cover creator on Amazon. Is this showing up right? Yep. I think it's showing up right. So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, wait, I'm going to see, okay, now it shows. All right. So now you'll be able to see clear. So here we have, and this was my first book, Confessions of a Confused Virgin. And here is a bunny on my coloring book. Here's the anti-abortion atheistic animal. Here's irrelevant. Here's free will and abortion denial. Here's the vow of chastity, which is still one of my favorites. Here's the term determinism versus indeterminism. And here we have the invisible pink unicorn, and here's some older books. Stars Happen and Shape Happens. You get it? Instead of shit happens, it's shape happens. And, those were earlier art books. They're not very fancy. They were actually written through a program using the programming language Ghostscript. That's the whole story. Now, this book here is very interesting. Now, this book here is a very fancy one. I published this through a company called Litfire. Now, it's important to mention that this is a paperback that you can buy. It's like $20. But I also published it through other means too. Let me go back to the previous page here. Let's see here. Yes, that same book is here. This is the Kindle edition here. That is the zebras. So there's those. But so they all show up, even though I put Chandler Klebs in. But you'll notice that some of them have Chandler Klebs on the title or on the cover page, and some have Chastity Rose. So here is my most recent one. Now, this one is what I recommend people. If you have an Amazon account thing and you buy Kindle books or paperbacks, then you want to go to Amazon. If you want a paperback of my book, then you go here on Amazon. So search for Chastity Rose or Chandler Klebs. Also, my mom, Jadina Klebs, is listed as the editor because my mom had to read through my entire book, not once, but twice, because we had to get all the errors out of it. And it took forever because it's a very big book. Not as big as Paflo's book. His book is like 340 pages. Mine is like 160. So yeah, my book's shorter than his, but yeah, it's still a very big book. And so I've shown you some of my books on Amazon. So next I'm going to show you Smashwords. Okay, wait. Okay, so wait, what's shellscript.sh? Okay, I want to see what shellscript.sh is. Shell scripting tutorial. Oh, it was a tutorial on shell scripting for Linux. I was going to read that tutorial, but then I forgot. Okay, I wasn't meaning to go there, but okay. So smashwords.com. Notice how as soon as I start typing, Google tries to guess what I'm going to say. A smash burger, come on. Okay. Okay, so here we have, all right, so here I will go to my dashboard and see, I'm logged into my Smashwords account. So here it shows 3 books that I published. Now, here's what's interesting is I had to fix some errors. So for example, earlier today, I got some messages that there were some changes that needed to be made in these books. So for example, if I go here to details, this is what it told me. The author name of the cover image must match the author name within your source document and the author name of your metadata dashboard or account. So I had to make that, and then it said it contains some corrupt formatting, things unintentionally bold. So I had to edit my book file and re-upload it. So I actually have spent quite a few hours just, creating cover images, making changes to the cover images, editing the original book file, and then re-exporting them to doc files. So I've spent hours just on republishing my books to Smashwords. Now, I don't know if I will put all of them on Smashwords, but Smashwords lets me make books completely free. Whereas Amazon did not give me the option to make books completely free. So here's the thing: is that anybody can read my very first book. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open these 3 different books in new tabs. That's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to close this tab. So here is the vow of chastity. And this one is all the various reasons why I'm going to be a virgin for life. Although someone only needs to look at me to see why I'm a virgin for life anyway. I'm way too autistic and weird. Anyway, so yeah. So what people can do with this book is this book is $5, but you can also read the first half of it free, like there's an online reader. And similarly, now here's Confessions of a Confused Virgin. And so this one is completely free. It's a short book. You can read it in half an hour, but it's very funny. And yep, this is very, very strange. So, but yeah, this book was originally published in 2013. Total downloads 17. So some people have already been reading this book, apparently. So, but it's cool because that was a long time ago. I was like 23, maybe 24. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. And that was just what I was thinking about Christianity and what they said about sex. And it was a very strange thing. It was funny because back then I thought I was straight. Let me check my stream again. Okay. Yep. Right. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that's that book. And then here is my most recent book. And if you want to buy it, it's $10 to read the whole thing. It's a long book, but you can still read the first half of it. It let me choose a percentage of how much I wanted to make free, and I just kind of stick with 50%. So this is nice because with Smashwords, you can download these books in EPUB, which is on most devices, Mobi, which is for Kindle devices, and other types of formats. You can even get plain text formats and stuff like that. So pretty much Smashwords makes your content available in multiple different formats of ebooks for every possible device, whereas Amazon, you publish through them, and then you can have a Kindle edition made so people can read it on their Kindle devices or apps. Or you can have a paperback made. So if you want a paperback, you still have to go to Amazon. But if you want to read my book super quick, you can buy it on Smashwords, and then you can just start reading it on your device of your choice, for example. For example, there's even an online reader. You can actually read the book directly with through your web browser. Let's see how well this works. I'm going to close these tabs here, and it might be slower just because I am doing a live stream. I'm seeing how well this live stream holds up because I am sharing my screen, and yeah, so you see what it looks like on this tab. But then as soon as I switch to this tab, got to reload the page. The site can't be reached. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Smashwords.com. Everything was working well for a while. It might be because my stream is using my internet connection, so it's slowing down other sites. But if it doesn't work, then that's totally fine too. So let's see what happens if I go to my other website. Let's see here. The stream is still working. That's nice. Yeah, that's very weird. Okay, I'm going to close that tab, and then I'm going to recreate a tab. Okay, there's the Google thing. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna just test out different websites and see whether or not the other websites work or not. Because the screen share feature is kind of like an important thing here. That's really messed up. It's not working. Yeah, that's very weird. Let's see, does even Facebook work? Oh, yeah, Facebook does work. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so let's go to my blog, my WordPress blog. I'm testing different websites to see whether or not they work. Come on. Yeah, that's the problem, is the internet connection kind of messes up. When you're streaming, it's using my internet connection, you know what I mean? So then other websites don't want to load the same. So I don't know if it's going to let me do it or not. That's very weird. Yeah, it's not working because my stream is using my bandwidth. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen is what I'm going to have to do. So wait, oh, we got a comment. Kath Lamb. Hey, Chandler. Well, hey, Kath. I see your comment there. And Kath Lamb, I don't know who she is exactly, but I'm friends with her on Facebook. She actually bought my unicorn book and said she was reading it. So thanks, Kath, for that. Yeah, it's been so hard to get people to buy my unicorn book. Like, my unicorn book is actually really good. Just ask my mom. My mom had to read it, the whole thing, twice and tell me, oh, you need a comma here. Oh, this paragraph doesn't make any sense. You need a period here. You need a question mark here. My mom had to go and do all that. She had to read through my whole book twice because apparently I fail at English. So it's really funny. So yeah, that is so cool. We actually have a comment here. So yeah. Yeah, she says, it is very inspiring, XX. Oh, that is nice. Come on, people. This is so awesome. So it really does. So far, testing this live stream, I found out that Monique was able to join me because I sent a Facebook message to some people. And then, so she was able to join me and we were able to talk for a little bit, but she had to go. And then I tried the screen share feature, which seemed to work. Let me try something. Let me try again. I'm going to try going to Smashwords and see if it works. It probably won't because I'm still using the bandwidth of, my internet isn't the fastest in the world necessarily, but it usually works well. Like I can stream videos through YouTube or Amazon Prime like with no trouble at all. So it doesn't seem to be a real issue. So I used to be able to use this computer to play Minecraft Bedrock Edition. And when I have a new PC, I probably will be able to do that sort of thing again. So that's cool. But anyway, yeah, so as you see, I put a lot of effort into making my books available. One thing that's a little bit weird is that my book, Chandler's Honesty, it was even on the Apple Store, and it was approved for premium distribution, which means it's It's not only on Smashwords, but on several other retailers. And it was previously approved for that sort of premium distribution, but then it was submitted for review again. And I don't know exactly why that happened, but I think it was because I changed my name slightly in my account with Smashwords. Oh, it said that I could put my middle name into the same box as the first name. So it's sort of like, so now the first box says Chastity White and the last name box still says Rose. So now my account says Chastity White Rose instead of just Chastity Rose. And it's very, very important to do that. Why? Because although Chastity Rose may not seem like it, there are a lot of people named Chastity Rose. I know because I looked that name up on Facebook, but that was after I already named myself Chastity White Rose. So there's a lot of people named Chastity Rose, and there's a lot of people who you have that name. But to be Chastity White Rose, have a middle name of White, well, that's a little bit more rare. Now, if I wanted to be truly rare, I could just stick with my original birth name, Chandler Klebs, which I could. And Facebook will not let me change my name to Chastity White Rose. They still force me to use Chandler Klebs unless I can prove I can give them documentation proving a legal name change. And I'm like, I don't want to have to get a legal name change just to prove to Facebook that they should let me change my name. I mean, Twitter and YouTube let me change my name, no questions asked. A lot of people, especially authors, want to go by a different name. Like, there's a lot of authors use names other than their legal name to publish their books by. So there's nothing unusual about choosing your own name. It's very common among transgender people like me to change their name, but all kinds of authors and all kinds of professionals go by other names all the time. So everybody should be able to name themselves whatever they want. You know what I mean? As long as they can provide proof of who they are, and there's adequate proof that Chandler Klebs and Chastity White Rose are the same person. There's more proof than that than there is of anything else in this world. In fact, it's mentioned in my books I publish, So yeah, that's important. So yeah. So my books, I've written so many books, 3 of them are on Smashwords, and there's probably 8 or 9 of them if you include the art books. They're on Amazon. So, and then there's my blog that I've linked to several times on my social media. ChastityWhiteRose.wordpress.com, and you can also read the first 2 parts. Sorry, Chandler, how do you define yourself? Well, Kath, I'm glad you asked. Well, if you mean with gender identity, I identify as a trans woman, a transgender woman, and that's something people don't really. It's not something I talk about too often, but I think about it quite often because I identify as female, even though I was born with a male body. So that's the thing. So I've made that public for the past 3-4 years, something like that. So everybody knows that, and it's actually very interesting because I'm not as bothered by it now. But there's times when it comes up, you know what I mean? This guy at work. I'm sure this guy means well, but there was this guy at work that for some reason he thought I should. He's like, Chandler, you should join Tinder. And find somebody. And I'm like, why would I join Tinder? It's okay. This is funny. Okay, this is funny. See, I don't really date for 2 reasons. 2 reasons I don't really date, okay? Because first of all, I'm asexual, I'm not sexually attracted to people, and I've vowed celibacy for life, which is mentioned in my books, And people who don't have sex generally aren't as interested in dating people, because if you try to date other people, most other people think of romantic relationships and marriages and that kind of thing. They think of it only in terms of who's having sex with you. But if you're a person who doesn't want sex, then there's less of a motivation to be dating people. Besides, who dates people with COVID going on? But okay, this gets funny. But before I get too much into the topic of what's wrong with dating, I want to explain some things. So, see, I'm asexual, but a lot of people are asexual, but they still have sex. I know that asexual and celibate are not the same thing. I know they don't always necessarily mean the same thing, but I'm both. And what it comes down to is I vowed celibacy for ethical and health reasons. So even if someday I woke up and I was straight or gay, plus I'm not even sure how that works. Like, how does that work? Because if I date, wait, I'm confused. So if I were to date a cisgender woman, that would that make me gay or straight? But if I was to date another transgender woman that was born male but identified as female, does that make me gay or straight? I don't even know. I don't even know how this works. I don't know how sexual orientation works or how dating relationships work. It's funny to think about, but at one time I had this idea. Wait a minute. So what if I was born male, but I identify as female, and then I marry some female who identifies as male, so a trans man and a trans woman, like, you know, so if you have a trans woman and a trans man in a relationship and they get married and have some relationship, are they gay or straight or both all at the same time? Like, how does that even work? I don't know. I'm so confused, and this is why I don't date. But funnily enough, I am actually on a dating site. Yeah, there's this dating site called Butterfly, and it's funny because I created a profile on there, and I said, well, you know, I'm looking for friends that maybe I can hang out with, but I don't have sex with anybody. So I actually am on Butterfly, the dating site. And it's kind of an interesting dating site, and on your profile it has several check boxes. And it has check boxes for people who are transgender, but it even has vegan as one of the check boxes. So when I looked at that site, I'm like, okay, I'll create an account on this site. And I have been getting the strangest messages on this dating site. Like, not very frequently, but like maybe once a month or so, I'll get an email with a message on Butterfly, this dating site. And then people will say, I'm looking for someone wild, you know? And I'm like, well, actually, I'm pretty wild. Like, look at this video of me dancing in my checkerboard dress on YouTube, or I'll send them an example of my computer programming programs, you know, or a video of my spinning polygons. So like some people start sending me messages like, are you a top or a bottom? And I'm like, what? So, you know, I start looking these things up, and I'm like, oh, this is about the kind of sex acts people do. Well, you see, I'm neither, and I don't have sex. Why didn't you read my profile? Like, seriously, people, what's wrong with you? But, you know, people are lazy, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I am actually on a dating site, but I don't really know if it could be said that I date anybody exactly. But I was just hoping to meet, you know, other friends, particularly of the transgender variety, you know, like-minded people to hang out with who I have similar experiences with. Because that's what we do, right? We seek others who are like us, you know. But also, one thing I do want to mention, while I am on the topic of gender identity and sexual orientation, here's something very interesting. So, okay, so for example, I talked to my psychologist. There's a psychologist, and who's the one there's a psychologist I met, and he actually wrote my referral letter for me to have my surgery. I had a bilateral orchiectomy. I had my testicles removed, And that was for long-term pain, but also for gender dysphoria reasons as well. And it was a success, So I haven't had my testicles for over 4 months now, and I'm feeling great because I'm out of pain. And I no longer have the same gender dysphoria I did, because now there's hardly anything there anymore, you know. So I feel comfortable physically. I'm not in pain, and it doesn't bother me. Now my body feels more aligned with how I feel inside. So I still have a man voice. I still look like a man mostly, but I still feel female inside. So that's what I tell people. But about that topic, see, the psychologist asked me a series of questions, and also I had the urologist who did my surgery. I had a lot of medical people asking me extensive series of questions about what I wanted and why, and so I explained absolutely everything. I explained my gender identity. I explained why I wanted the orchiectomy, because it is a big decision. Permanent changes to your body that's going to affect your hormone levels forever. So yeah, so I want people to understand that people don't just go and have surgery, on a whim. You know what I'm saying? Like it was something I wanted for a long time, and I explained to doctors and nurses and medical students and a psychologist and all kinds of people. I explained the exact same story over and over and over to many people. And that was helpful to me because each time I told it, I felt more and more sure, well, yeah, this is what I want. And I was willing to go through that painful process of telling people. But they there were people asking me things like, well, do you ever want sexual reassignment surgery? Things like that. And do you want this? Do you want the scrotum removed, or do you want to save it to make a fake vagina later? Because that's what sexual reassignment surgery is. Where now I don't know much about that, but I have listened to many YouTubers who have had sexual reassignment surgery, and the way it works is their scrotum is like turned inside out, sort of, so it makes a fake vagina. But I told these people, well, no, I don't want that. What would I do with a fake vagina anyway? I'm not going to be having sex with anyone. So the very fact that I'm a person who never intends to do anything sexual with anyone was precisely the reason I got as much removed as I could. So no scrotum, no testicles, all of that's gone. And yes, to anybody who asks, I still have a penis and I pee with it, so I can still pee standing up, and that is the manliest thing I can do. That's the only manly thing I can do is pee standing up. That's it. So now everybody knows the whole story about my private parts. I didn't intend to get into that, but people ask me these questions. People totally ask me these questions, and I've been able to answer a lot of people's questions. But I don't mind answering people's questions. I really don't, because people have these questions, and to some, questions like these seem nosy, but the only way we're going to make progress as a society at all is if people are able to ask the difficult questions without people getting offended. But yeah, I am happy. Well, thanks for asking. I am actually very happy. I have problems like anyone else. Like the problem of my injury and that I've been out of work for a while, but I'll be going back in the middle of February, and hopefully I'll do well. But aside from my knee injury and losing some money, I am actually very happy. I mean, here I am. I'm getting to spend some time in my apartment, and I'm able to write my books and publish and promote them. And I've been recording these live streams, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun being able to do live streams, and respond to people's comments. My unicorn horn is falling off. But yeah, it's been fun doing live streams. Oh, how's mom? Yeah, my mom is actually doing pretty good. I visit my mom. Yeah, this thing is falling off. I'll throw my horn over here. Yeah, my mom, she lives at her apartment and she can be very lonely sometimes, but I visit my mom every weekend. And I can stay with my mom a little bit longer sometimes because I'm not working right now. But yeah, my mom lives alone in her apartment ever since I moved out, and I live in Independence by myself here. And she was such a help to me. Working on proofreading my book so that I could get it published. So I'm really grateful to my mom, and so I spend time with my mom, and she's usually doing pretty good. Um, so yeah, that's nice. So I'm happy. My mom's generally pretty happy. So yeah, everything is really good. And so I like being able to write my books, and I like being able to communicate with people with these live streams, seeing how it goes. Because we live in a time right now where people are told, oh, you can't visit your grandma in a nursing home. You can't visit your relatives for the holidays. You can't have friends over. Everybody must be locked down. Everybody stay 6 feet away and wear masks. Or you're going to infect people with COVID and they're going to die. Like, come on. That's the kind of world we're living in right now. People are all freaking out. And to tell you the truth, I feel pretty much the same as I always did, because I never really had that much social interaction. The way it was before is that I was working my full-time job, and I would visit my mom on Saturdays, and then on Sundays, sometimes my pal Lucas would come over and we would trade and battle Pokemon in our Pokemon Sword and Shield games on the Nintendo Switch, and stuff like that. And we were playing Sonic Mania on the Switch. I was playing Sonic, he was playing Tails. It was so cool. So yeah, there's my friend Lucas, and he lives in Lee Summit, near where my mom still lives. And so we play video games, and we used to play Pokemon Go with his family a while back. Yeah, it was cool. So yeah, there's my pal Lucas, and there's my mom, and then there's my online friends. Like earlier on this live stream, anybody who goes back and watches, they'll see that Monique was on now. And since I'm doing this live stream and I've already mentioned so much, okay, I want to mention a few things how I met some of my friends. So Monique, I met like 5 years ago. We met on a website called Acebook, and I was on the forums and I was searching for vegan. I ended up coming across her post, and so we exchanged messages for a few months. And then we started doing recordings. We started recording podcasts through Skype, and we just started talking a lot more. So that was cool. So we've known each other for at least 5 years. And the same is actually, Pafo. I met Pafo because he was commenting on my YouTube videos and stuff. I used to do podcasts on the free will topic with another set of co-hosts. I don't know what most of them are doing these days, but there were several that I did, and some of them I still do stuff. Like one of them, my friend, I won't mention his name because he's really concerned about privacy, but he lives in the UK, and I play on his Minecraft server sometimes. He has a Minecraft realm, and the thing about my friend is he's like, okay, well, we're going to keep this world. And then he's like, oh no, I want to change worlds again because this other person who also plays in the world, doesn't like this world. It's like, okay, well, I spent 15 hours building this structure in that world, but well, it's your realm, man. You do what you want, So I can't complain. I mean, he lets me play on his realm for free. And here's the thing about it is, sure, I can play single player worlds in Minecraft, and I can enjoy that. But here's why I prefer to play on my friend's Minecraft realm rather than just on single player worlds. And here's the number one reason why, is because it's very cool when I can play with friends on Minecraft. It makes it more fun. The fact that they can visit the things I've built and walk around what I've built, and I can visit what they've built. the fact that we are in the same Minecraft world and we can play together makes it a lot more fun. Because you know what? The only more fun than playing video games by yourself is playing video games with someone else. It's true. Because now I'm a person who likes to be alone for the most part. I like doing things myself, but also I like playing games with other people too. So, for example, I played Terraria. Oh yeah, I can visit your home and Love Nikki. Yeah, you can. I haven't played Love Nikki for a little while because I don't have it on my phone anymore. Um, I actually have a separate Android phone that doesn't actually have phone service, but can sometimes connect to my Wi-Fi. And sometimes I put Love Nikki on there. But since it's a separate device that I don't turn on very often, I haven't been consistent with Love Nikki. But Love Nikki is the best of all fashion games for the cell phones. It totally is. Like, I've tried a lot of the different fashion games. And you might wonder, well, why am I into these fashion games? There's nothing cooler than just having a character that you can dress in hundreds of different styles of clothes and hairstyles. Like, I love the fashion games. And then, like, on the Nintendo 3DS, I played Style Savvy. I have all 4 Style Savvy games, because there was one for the Nintendo DS, and then there was one for Nintendo 3DS. Well, there was 3 games for that. So, but they were best because they were like Love Nikki, except that you were running your own clothing store and you sold clothing to customers, and you could also wear your own clothes and stuff too. So it was just like Love Nikki, except 3-dimensional and with all kinds of crazy music. So I love Style Savvy. I love the game Love Nikki. Dress Up Queen for iPhone and Android. As long as you have a new enough device, you can get it working. So it's cool. But I have a lot of video games I love. I usually don't have time for video games, and now I'm at home and I can play video games when I want, but I have actually spent more time writing and publishing and then making corrections to my books, on Smashwords when it tells me that there's something I have to fix with the formatting, So between writing books and then playing video games, but then there's also computer programming. And here's the thing about computer programming is I've done a lot of it. I've done a lot of computer programming, and I've done several little projects, but it seems like I always start projects and then I forget about them and then I start all over. It's staying with something long-term is something I have a really hard time with. And once projects get to be very big, I sort of they become too complex for me and I give up. But I've been very persistent. So and most people, they don't appreciate computer programming. And I don't know why. I don't know why there are not more people interested in computer programming, because it's actually really cool. Because anybody who's seen those videos, anybody who's seen my Facebook pages where I have the spinning polygons, sometimes even color changing spinning polygons, have certain animations and stuff, that's all done with computer programming. And there's different ways of achieving that sort of result. Some of them were done using my binary bitmap library that I wrote entirely myself. And it's not very powerful, but it can still do some incredible animations. And then my most recent work that I've done has been with OpenGL. Now, I had heard of OpenGL years ago, but didn't know how to get involved in it. And OpenGL is really hard to learn. I'm serious. OpenGL is one of the hardest things I have ever tried to learn. And here is why. Okay, I know most people aren't going to understand this, okay? If you're not a computer programmer, you may not understand this rant. But since I'm doing a live stream and I'm just sharing my opinions on things, here's what I have to say. OpenGL is a great technology. The concept is good, but the people who use OpenGL and the people who try to teach and explain OpenGL to others, oh, they're a mess. See, here's the problem, is that everybody has their opinions on how things should be done. Like, you know how people are, how people fight over religion and fight over politics, and people are always arguing over every little thing on social media. Computer programmers are the worst when it comes to this. Like, seriously, like, okay, go on any programming forum or get on YouTube and search for things like, which is better, C or C++. Oh man, the number of programmers who will fight over which programming language is better, C or C++. And then there's the Vim versus Emacs war, two different text editors that are usually used by programmers. People argue about that. People argue about, oh, which is better, Windows, Macintosh, or Linux? Like, programmers are always arguing over which is better. It's crazy. And then when it comes to OpenGL, okay, I will briefly explain what OpenGL for computer programmers is. Like, if you're a computer programmer and you know some basic programming, then OpenGL is kind of a little bit hard to get into, but OpenGL, you could call it, Open Graphics Language or Open Graphics Library. And what it is it's actually it's sort of like a language for expressing computer graphics. It's capable of doing three-dimensional graphics, which I've never actually done myself. I usually use it for simply two-dimensional graphics, just simple flat shapes, that kind of thing. And I got into it because, everyone was talking about how cool OpenGL is. And so I searched long and hard before I could find examples that I could get running, that I could get working on my computer. So, and here's how I got started with OpenGL. Okay, so there's some guy who called himself Lazy Foo. No one knows what the real name is, I don't think. But so there's this website, lazyfoo.net, and there are tutorials on that website. There are tutorials on using SDL, and there are tutorials on using OpenGL. But there are two types of OpenGL. There's legacy OpenGL, the old stuff, like the stuff that's existed like since the 90s, early 2000s. And then there is the modern OpenGL. And modern OpenGL and legacy OpenGL are like totally different. And to put things in perspective, like if you're a person who plays video games, okay, let's just say that legacy OpenGL is like the original Nintendo Entertainment System from 1985. Legacy OpenGL is like that. It's old, it's been around, and it's easier to work. Just as it's easier to play a game written for the Nintendo Entertainment System because it did less. It was less powerful, and you only had a few buttons. You had a direction pad, you had start, select, A and B. That was all you had on the controller. But then along come modern gaming systems, and it's like, whoa, controllers now have like so many buttons, like 15 different buttons, and you also have a touch screen, and you have all these games, and they have three dimensionals, and their options within the game will be like, whoa, like there's hundreds of options. Like, so just as modern games are great, but they take a lot longer to learn how to play. It takes a lot longer to learn how to use a new system. That's how OpenGL is. OpenGL for programmers, the modern stuff, is a lot harder to work with. And the tutorials I found on Lazy Foo's website were for legacy OpenGL. And legacy OpenGL was very easy to work with because I basically took his code of an example. You simply set up a graphics context. You create a window, create an OpenGL context. There's certain functions you call for that, and then you can start actually drawing stuff. It's easy because if you want to draw a triangle, it's like, okay, GL vertex, 2F. You put in your two numbers, your X and Y coordinates. Your X coordinate is from left to right, and your Y coordinate is up to down, sort of thing. So that's basically by putting in different X and Y coordinates, you can have different places on the screen. So if you do those coordinates, you can actually do GL begin end, and then do 3 different coordinates, and then GLN, and then GL flush, and you can draw a triangle to the screen. It's absolutely incredible. And once you can draw a triangle, you can draw anything else because all the other shapes are done using a similar method. So if you use 4 different vertexes, then you're going to draw a 4-sided shape if they're all in different places, of course. So once you can draw a triangle, you can also draw a shape with 4 sides, 5 sides, 6 sides. So with Legacy OpenGL, you can draw 2-dimensional or even 3-dimensional shapes if you learn how in computer graphics. So you can draw shapes to the screen, and those shapes can change in color or change in size, just like my animations show. Because my websites that I've made and my animations, some of them on YouTube, some of them I've uploaded to Facebook, that's how they work. They work with Legacy OpenGL. So it's simple. It's simple. Like I'll have variables, and it's like, okay, well, I want the X coordinate to move here, or I want the X or Y coordinates to change for the center point of this polygon when I click with the mouse here. Oh, we have another comment from Kath Lamb. I Asperger's, so I am way behind, but love your passion. Well, it's funny you should mention Asperger's, Kath, because I also have Asperger's syndrome. I'm highly autistic, and people don't know what that means. Like, people don't know what it means if you say you're autistic. They think of some, like, disabled kid that doesn't talk if you talk about autism. And when you say Asperger's syndrome, people don't know what that means either. It was actually named after some German guy, I think. But Asperger's is another name for high-functioning autism. And if I had to explain Asperger's syndrome, or also called high-functioning autism, yeah, that's what you call it when you look normal, but you're not. Now, I don't really think I look normal either. I mean, I'm weird looking, like seriously. But yeah, I'm not normal, okay? So with me, with Asperger's syndrome, like people are all different, of course, but with me, here's how Asperger's syndrome affects me. This is my form of autism. I'm going to take off my glasses because my glasses are annoying me. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so here's how Asperger's syndrome affects me, and that is that I'm very troubled when it comes to language. I'm extremely troubled when it comes to language. I don't know what people mean by the words they use until after listening to them for a long time, the context they use it. I can sort of figure out what people are talking about, and then I try to say things and nobody understands me. And that's why writing my books has been so helpful, because I'm able to write things, and then my mom reads it, and if she doesn't understand it, that means that other humans are not going to understand it. So I need to change things until my mom understands, because my mom doesn't understand, isn't anybody else going to understand either. So, wait, same. I'm ugly. I'm the same. Well, Kath, I wouldn't call you ugly, just so you know. Remember, I told you once before you look like Anna Kendrick. I swear she does. After Kath Lamb friended me a long time ago, I looked at her profile and she had a picture. I'm like, this looks like Anna Kendrick. It looks like I forgot what character she played. You know that one character in Pitch Perfect? What was her name? Why can I not remember her name? But Becca, yeah. Anna Kendrick played Becca in Pitch Perfect, and she was sort of almost the main character of that movie. But yeah, Becca was not actually my favorite character in Pitch Perfect. My favorite character was actually Fat Amy. She was my favorite character. But yeah, you look like Anna Kendrick, and you're very beautiful. You're not ugly, just so you know. But anyway, back to autism. So yeah, I would say that my autism is mostly a challenge when it comes to language. And I find myself particularly troubled with language relating to religion and human sexuality. I don't understand it. There's a lot of things I don't experience. But then again, I also didn't have a sense of smell until recently. I've mentioned this before, but I now have a sense of smell. I can actually smell food. I couldn't smell food before. I couldn't smell hardly anything. But now, see, my hormone levels are different. The testosterone is like almost nothing. And then my FSH and LH and estrogen have gone up since my surgery. So my adrenal glands are working overtime. So I have some hormones that are super high now, and I have a heightened sense of smell. Oh, I didn't like textures for years. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, for example, strawberries. I can't eat strawberries. Like, I can drink strawberry drinks. I can drink strawberry juice or juices that contain strawberry, but I can't eat strawberries. If I try to bite into a strawberry, the seeds in it, the way it feels, it grosses me out. And similarly, I can't really eat tomatoes. The similar thing happens. Like, tomatoes are hard for me to eat, and they make me cry, like biting into an onion if I bite into a tomato. But I can drink straight tomato juice. I put ketchup on everything. So obviously I can have tomato products just like I can drink strawberry type of things, but I can't eat strawberries and I can't eat tomatoes. I mean, I can, but it makes me feel very uncomfortable when I do. So there's certain things I don't like. For example, I don't like to be touched. This is something that is not really an issue with me. I've never liked being touched. I never liked shaking people's hands. I never really even liked being hugged. There are some people that can hug me, but only if they're a friend and I trust them and I know they mean well. But I don't like shaking hands with people. I don't like hugging people. I don't like to be touched. So is it really any little wonder that someone who doesn't like to be touched doesn't want to have sex? Duh. I don't want to shake hands with someone, so of course I'm not going to do sexual things with someone. I don't like bodies touching. I don't like my skin touching someone else's skin. So that's a no-brainer right there. I don't like to be touched. The only communication that I have with the world is usually based on what I can see or hear. And now I can smell things too. So for me, interacting with people online is usually enough. Although I will say there are some things that are fun, like when my friend Lucas is over here, or when my friend Monique visited me a year ago, Well, having a person physically present with me in the same town does have some advantages, because they're right there. You can talk to them. You don't have to call them on the phone. You don't have to worry about what if your internet connection is going to cut out suddenly while you're talking to them on Skype or something. You know what I mean? So having a person physically present in the same room as me can sometimes be very nice if they're a friend. But if there's some dangerous person who's going to murder me, then no, I don't want them near me, I rock all the time, like back and forth every day. It's embarrassing. Oh yeah, I know that type. Yeah, some autistic people, they have these behaviors, and I believe the term for that is called stemming or something like that. Stimming or stemming. I don't even remember what it's called, but yeah, some autistic people have certain behaviors. So like they'll rock in a chair, or they might bang their head into a wall all day or something like that. Yeah, some autistic people have certain behaviors like that. And actually, I have a few of those behaviors myself. You probably wouldn't guess that, but I have certain behaviors. Like, for example, when I was a kid, there was this thing that I used to do. Like, I used to do this a lot. I don't know why, but I used to do this a lot. Like it was, and I said it was my motor. So I've done things like that. So I have my own stimming behaviors, like some autistics, but it's lessened over time through the years. I don't do stuff like that as much anymore. In fact, most of the time, my mind is always busy. Like I'm always thinking of stuff. Like it's hard to shut my brain off. It's really hard to shut my brain off because I'm either, it's like I have thoughts through my mind and I was like, oh, I have to write about this, and so I go and I write about it. And that's how my books get made. It's like I get inspiration, like, oh, I have to get up, gotta get on the computer, gotta write this down before I forget, then go back to bed, or I'll be watching movies, or I'll be reading my computer programming books. I have so many computer programming books. I have books on C++, PHP, Python, Perl, JavaScript, and OpenGL. I have like tons of programming books, and most of them I've never finished reading, but they're mostly reference books anyway. With programming, you don't read them like books like a novel. You read the specific parts you've forgotten you need a review on, or to look up a certain function. So programming books are different than other books anyway. But I have a lot of books, and I don't read them as much as I should because, I got a comment again from Kath. I suffer from severe insomnia. That is exactly what I'm talking about, Kath. I do not get as much sleep as I should. For example, you could probably see how tired my eyes are because I don't sleep like I should. But yeah, that's probably why my blood pressure is so high, because I have high blood pressure and some of that stress, but also not getting enough sleep can cause that too. So I should be getting more sleep than I do, but there's so much to do. Usually I don't get enough sleep because, my busy job while I'm working. Now I'm not working, but it's like I have this time to do things I want to do. So I don't get me wrong, I'm having a really good time. I'm having a good time because I get to work on my programming or write my books or do awesome live streams and talk about great stuff, or play video games or watch funny movies. For example, I watched Anger Management. There's this movie called Anger Management with Adam Sandler. And it's so funny. It's like one of the funniest movies ever. It was actually recommended to me by someone who commented on one of my videos. It's great, but I watched a lot of really good movies. Actually, hey Kath, what's your favorite Disney movie? This is a great conversation to start with. Ask people their favorite Disney movie, because I'll see if Kath will say what her favorite Disney movie is. But of Disney movies, for many years, my favorite movie of all time was Beauty and the Beast. I loved that movie. I loved the message of it. The whole movie was great, because you learn to love people for who they are on the inside instead of the outside. But don't get me wrong. I mean, the Beast wasn't even bad looking. For a beast, he was pretty good looking anyway. I was almost disappointed when the Beast turned back into being a man. You know what I mean? Because it's like the Beast was like 10 foot tall and was stronger than any human. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad to stay a beast, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Oh, I love Belle. Yeah. Belle from Beauty and the Beast is absolutely great. Yeah. See, what was great about Belle is that she wasn't like the other townspeople. She was smart and she liked to read books. So, yeah, cool. Yeah, so Belle was great. Yeah, there goes the baker with his tray like always. Yeah, that's right. I remember the song. The song was great. The original cartoon movie of Beauty and the Beast was great. And then they tried to make a newer version with real people, and it wasn't as good. Like, it was not as good as the cartoon. That's my opinion. I feel it suffered due to lower quality music. Although their decision to have, what was her name? Whatever her name was, the same one who plays Hermione in Harry Potter movies, that same actress played Belle in Beauty and the Beast of the newer Real People version. It was good, but it wasn't as good as the cartoon. So, but Beauty and the Beast was my favorite for many years of all Disney movies. But it was fun. Yeah, that's right. Her name is Emma Watson. Thanks, Kath. Yeah, that's right. Her name was Emma Watson. But finally, there was a movie that replaced Beauty and the Beast as my favorite Disney movie, and that was Frozen. When Frozen came out, then Elsa's like, let it go, can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, turn away and slam the door. You know? Yeah, I mean, come on. I love Frozen. So the first Frozen movie was really good. And then the second movie was also really great. And then it's like, into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown. You know, and then that voice, oh, oh, you know, the cold never bothered me anyway. Yeah, I just saw Kath's comment. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, the first Frozen movie was great, and the second Frozen movie was great. Now, here's what I love, about, now, you know I love Beauty and the Beast. I mentioned that I love Beauty and the Beast, but Frozen is even better than Beauty and the Beast. And here's why Frozen is better. Besides the fact that it had even greater music, see, you find out that true love doesn't have to be between, you know, somebody and a prince or a princess. It doesn't have to be between a man and a woman even necessarily. It was the act of true love that thawed Anna's heart was her own act of true love when she was trying to protect her sister from Prince Hans, who was trying to kill her sister. It was the true love of her sister. And true love can come from anyone. It could be a brother, a sister, a father, a mother, or just some friend, or even a complete stranger. True love doesn't have to be a romantic or sexual partner, and it can be anyone. And that was why the message of the movie Frozen was most important. And even Olaf the snowman, who had not existed for very long, could understand love. So yeah, Frozen had great music, but it also had such a great plot. And also, people have speculated about Elsa. Some people say that Elsa is a lesbian. Other people say that she may be asexual. I tend to think she's probably just asexual. She probably doesn't care about dating or that sort of thing. And people just try to make up assumptions about Elsa because, well, she doesn't end up marrying some man, you know? So people like, oh, well, maybe she's not straight, maybe she's gay, or maybe she's just not interested in anybody, you know? So we may never know about her. But I think that's why Elsa is probably one of the greatest of Disney princesses, because she's the only princess that doesn't end up just married to some prince somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? Similarly, well, she's like Princess Rosalina, because Princess Rosalina is my favorite of the Nintendo princesses, because you know how, like anybody who loves the Mario series of games, they probably know about Princess Peach, or formerly she was called Princess Toadstool. And there's also Princess Daisy. I'm not sure why there's so many princesses in the Mario games. But so there was Peach and there was Daisy. But then Rosalina came out in Super Mario Galaxy. And Princess Rosalina is my favorite princess. Why? Because she's just a single woman all by herself living in outer space. It doesn't get more cool than that now, does it? And she's happy on her own too, just like Queen Elsa is. So I guess you could just say I just like strong, independent people that are fine on their own, and they don't have to, you know, kiss or date or or get married to someone necessarily. You know, like I'm not against the idea of that even for myself necessarily. I mean, I'm not against the idea of having a partner as long as it doesn't involve sex, you know what I mean? But people place too much importance on it. Oh, did you like Pocahontas? Oh, yes. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? You know, I love Pocahontas. Pocahontas was a really good movie about why racism is stupid. Like seriously, you know, that you got these settlers and then they have prejudice against the Native Americans, and the Native Americans don't like the settlers, and they're going to go to war, and the whole thing ends up being stopped because of Pocahontas and John Smith and all that. So that's cool. um but you know, they made that into a love story too, and that's nice, of course. But it's still not as great as Frozen. But I definitely did like Pocahontas. But you know, another good Disney movie I really liked was Mulan. Oh yeah, Mulan is great. You know, she dresses up and pretends to be a man, steals her father's armor, and goes to the army in his place because he's old and she doesn't want him to get killed in war. So she tries to pretend to be a man, take her father's place, and join the army instead of him. She ends up saving all of China in the process, and that's cool. So yeah, Mulan is definitely one of the best. And then they had the newer Real People version. Now, some people say that movie, that the new Real People version of Mulan wasn't very good. I think it wasn't quite as good as the cartoon. I would say the cartoon was funnier, but the Real People version had. I feel like it had some messages and some things added to it that were an improvement over the original. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, see, this is all it takes to have an exciting live stream. Like seriously, I had one guest join me for a few minutes, and that was Monique. And now I have Kath Lamb commenting, and we're talking about Disney movies. This is some awesome interaction. Yeah. Actually, here's an idea. Um, Wait a minute. I know. I have an idea. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try something. I'm going to send Kath Lamb an invite just in case. So I've just I just sent Kath Lamb an invite. So if you check your Facebook Messenger, it may let you join me the same way Monique did, where I see you and hear you. But that's up to you, Kath. It depends on how public you want to go. Like some people aren't really all that comfortable with having, you know, their face shown in a video. But so it's totally up to you if you want to join me like that or not. But some people are self-conscious about that sort of thing. But I I'm very comfortable with being recorded. You know, first of all, I have no reputation to protect, so I'm not too worried about what people think of me. And besides all that, I feel like I'm good looking. I'm good looking. I'm not too bad looking, you know. So I look fine on video anyway, and I sound fine, I think. So it's cool. I've never been afraid to be public on videos doing the craziest things. So I invite you just in case, but if not, it's still cool talking to you about Disney movies with your comments that I can read and all that. So that's cool too. Yeah. So let's see. I mean, this is a good experience. Because like I don't know how long I want to continue this live stream or not, but I am having a lot of fun. This is so cool. You know? Wait a minute. Is it showing? Wait, is it? Yeah. Like Now, has it been showing my video the whole time? Because I had a different setting selected, but it's been showing me on the screen. So that's interesting. I thought I sent it. Let me check, because I tried to send a message. Let me check here. Yeah, I sent you a message in the Facebook Messenger thing. So I think if you click that link, it will let you join me. I think that's the way it works. I'm not sure, because I did the same thing that I had originally sent that same type of invite to some other friends, including Monique. So that's how she showed up. So yeah, that's weird. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, that's weird. Yeah, so I hope it lets you join. If not, I don't know what to do, because it would be cool. Very interesting. Yeah, so let's see. What else can I talk about? And I hope that Kath can join me. That would make things extra fun. You never know who you're going to meet just because you play a Love Nikki Dress Up Queen. And I keep getting friend requests, and usually they have anime style profile pictures, so that's how you know they're good, right? Yep, cool. Yeah, I like the StreamYard thing. Wait, Kath? Oh, wait. Oh, there you are. Oh, cool. This is nice. I've been loving your comments the past hour or so.
Oh wow, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very British.
Oh, you're British?
Yeah.
Why are all the greatest people from England? Like, what's up with that, or the UK or whatever? Like several of the co-hosts on the podcast I used to do, like 3 of them were in the UK. Like, what's up with it? And they also had a British accent. It was awesome. And one thing about British people is often they really do say bloody hell. Like, that's
Oh no, that's our favourite word, bloody hell. That's our favourite word.
I know, like something will happen, like my friend will get killed like in some stupid way in Minecraft, and then he's like, bloody hell, like he does that, you know. It's funny. British people are funny. Like it's like watching Monty Python all over again.
Oh gosh, yes, of course.
I love those movies. Like have you seen The Life of Brian?
Yeah, yes, many times. Yeah.
Always look on the bright side of death. I know. I mean, it's funny. I know, it was great. I've seen so many different funny movies in my time. It's awesome.
You do love your Sailor Moon?
What?
You love your Sailor Moon?
Yeah, Sailor Moon. Yeah, you commented on my live stream about talking about Sailor Moon. Like Sailor Moon, like I've watched that since I was a teenager. Like my friend loves Sailor Moon. And so I would call her Sailor Moon, you know, and then I kind of thought of myself as like Sailor Saturn. Like originally my favorite of the Sailor Scouts was Sailor Mercury, you know, because Amy, she's like super smart, you know. So Sailor Mercury was like my favorite of the original series Sailor Scouts. But then once the 3rd season came out and we had Sailor Saturn, who actually only really appears in a few episodes. But Sailor Saturn is, you know, Hotaru, you know, whatever. It's like, yeah, Sailor Saturn is cool. And then, of course, then there's always, you know, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They're really awesome. You know, you have, you know, Uranus is like world shaking, you know, and then Neptune, I forgot, was it some aqua illusion or was it some other kind of weird water type thing? And then you have Sailor Pluto, and she's like did scream. Like, it was freaky. It's creepy, you know? But I love all the Sailor Moon stuff. I watched, now, from what I understand, there were several different series. Because there was the original 5 series of Sailor Moon released in Japan, but then there was also Sailor Moon Crystal, and there was Sailor Moon R. And those 2 series, I haven't even seen those yet. I hope to see those at some time, you know? But it's like, some people say they're nowhere near as good as the original series of Sailor Moon. And I also watched another series. It was called Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. And it had real Japanese girls. Seriously, like, you had real Japanese people. And it was all live action, and they had like a stuffed animal to play the part of Luna, the cat, you know. So it was really weird. So you had actual Japanese girls playing the roles, and they would transform into the Sailor Scouts, and they had special effects. So it really did look like, you know, for example, Rey was shooting fire because they had special effects. So they made it look very real and convincing, even though it was just real people. It was really freaky, but the plot was very different too. The plot was slightly different. It still had the same characters. A lot of things were the same, but the plot was very different. In fact, it was really messed up, because what would happen is that, like, at certain times, Sailor Moon would actually be possessed by the spirit of the original Moon Princess. That was from you know, Princess of the Moon originally. So like at times she would be like a different person, and it was interesting. But yeah, Sailor Moon was great, you know. But the 4th season, where you have Pegasus the unicorn, the best, absolutely. Where Pegasus can, you know, can live in the purest of dreams and stuff. And so Sailor Mini Moon, you know, it's and see, I know, like, in some versions she's called Rini, and others she's called Chibiusa. It depends on whether or not, you know, you're watching the Japanese version or whether you're watching the Americanized English version of what the characters' names are. So like in some versions, the main character that's Sailor Moon, she might be called Usagi in some versions, but she might be called Serena in the American version. You know, so it's like, so I like know both names. I love like their Japanese names and their English name. So it's weird. But the only thing I know more about than Sailor Moon is probably My Little Pony. Like, seriously, I'm pretty sure I watched every episode of this TV series of My Little Pony. Although it's possible that I might have missed a few episodes in the 5th or 6th season. Like, I think there were 7 seasons or something altogether before they finally ended the show. But then there's several movies. You know, there's several movies. Yeah, there's many movies, and there's the Equestria Girls movies as well. Have you seen any? Yeah, there's a lot of movies. Like that, yeah, because
Human, I think.
Yeah. See, the Equestria Girls movies are where they are human. So, and here's what I never understood though: is that Twilight Sparkle, the unicorn, she ends up going through a mirror, and then she ends up entering the human world, and she's at Canterlot High School in the real world. But what I never understood is, how is it that she ends up being in the human world, where there is a version, there's a human that is the counterpart to every pony in the pony world. Like, how does that work? Like, you can tell just by looking at them. It's like, oh yeah, that's that one. Like, because they have the same hairstyle, they have the same color skin. That was weird because they had different colors of skin. So Twilight Sparkle, when she was in the human world, still had purple skin, but she had the same like hair color and everything as well. And so even though she was humanized, you could still very much tell it was her. So you had no doubt who was who. That was the weirdest movie. I love those movies. The first Equestria Girls movie was good, but then there was the sequel to it, Rainbow Rocks. Had the best music of any My Little Pony movie ever. Yeah, like I used to sing that song. Oh yeah. Once upon a time, you came into my life and made the stars align. Now I can see
Yeah,
the
that was the English
signs.
dub. Yeah.
You pick me up when I get down so I can shine, shine like rainbows. I love that. Yeah.
That
I
was
love, I
the
love,
English dub. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I love
No, I agree. It's great
the
stuff.
My Little Pony. I love that stuff. But I also still love the Sailor Moon stuff. But it was interesting because Sailor Moon was for a different target audience than My Little Pony was. Like I feel like My Little Pony was targeted more towards younger children, I think, to a general extent. Whereas Sailor Moon, I
Especially
feel
in the
like
90s. Yes.
there was actually two different series of My Little Pony though. There was actually the original My Little Pony series that was like sometime in the 80s actually even. It was that old. But then they made like a newer version starting in like 2010. They made My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and that's the one that really became mega famous. The more modern ones with Twilight Sparkle, Fluttershy, Applejack, all those, but the original series was really weird. I actually have a DVD somewhere that has several of those episodes. That was weird because you actually had in that series, you actually had these three witches. It had these three evil witches, but they were
Yeah.
more
That's
they were
right.
more funny than they were evil. Like and so weird stuff was happening because you had humans and other creatures like fairies and other strange types of things in the same world as the ponies were. So it was actually more interesting in some ways, but then the newer series became more popular, and I feel like there was better script writing for the newer series. They had better music, and Daniel Ingram composed all the music for that, and they had the wonderful voice actors, and they had all these moral lessons. Like every episode, Twilight Sparkle would write a letter to Princess
Agree.
Celestia
Yeah.
telling her what she learned that day. So yeah, it was good. It was like as education.
Yeah. Did you ever
What was
watch
that?
Did you
What was
ever
that?
watch Card Captors, or were you not?
Card captors? You mean like with Sakura and Lee
Card
and
Captors
all that?
Sakura. Did you ever watch Card Captors?
Yeah,
Yeah.
card captors Sakura. Oh yes,
Yeah.
I believe I watched. Okay, I now originally I saw some of the English dub on TV, but then later on I went and downloaded a torrent of the original Japanese version with subtitles. So I watched like all of the Card Captors cartoons. And that was cool. I loved that. How you had Kiro, the stuffed animal, and how he was giving Sakura instructions how she had to capture all these magical cards with certain powers. And I swear that was just like Pokemon. It was like Pokemon. It was because, but instead of Pokemon being in Pokeballs that people throw and then they're at their command, it was like they were cards. And so but it was the same basic concept. Oh man, that was actually a very good series. Although I never could quite understand the way it ended. Like it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't remember the details. It's been quite a few years, but it was very interesting.
Yeah, I went off it.
But yeah, I mean,
because I was like, I grew up watching it.
yeah, I mean, that's the
And
thing about it is there's so many good cartoons.
Especially from the 90s and the 80s. Yeah, great. Did you ever watch Fruits Basket, or did you not?
Yes, I did. See, I had a friend who was recommending a lot of different anime. Now, Fruits Basket, if I remember correctly, it was where this girl ends up living with a family of these guys who, if she hugs them, then they end up turning into a certain animal. Like they all have certain animals they turn into when she hugs them. That was really cool.
Yeah, like a cat or a dog or a bear. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. And then there was another one.
I love that. That was great.
there was another one called Oran High School Host Club, and that one was very interesting. It was like kind of like this club at this high school where there was all these different people in this club. They just kind of hung out at the school and they did weird stuff. None of that series actually made any sense to me, but it was still very entertaining. And then there was this other anime I watched. Oh yes, okay. There was this anime I watched. This was never released in America. You might know it if you go and search for some Japanese, but this was never released in America at all. This one was called Kashimashi. So get this, Kashimashi was this. It only had 13 episodes. Yeah, 13 episodes. So here's the plot. So there's this boy who he's hiking a mountain. He has just confessed his love to his friend Yasuna, and she rejects him supposedly, although nothing makes sense there because they don't show much. But then he ends up climbing this mountain, and then he sees a shooting star, and he makes a wish. And he makes a wish to have a loving relationship. Turns out the shooting star is an alien spaceship. It crashes into him right on that mountain, right where he is, and kills him. So his shooting star turned out to be a spaceship that killed him. But this is an alien of an advanced race. Okay, this gets funnier and funnier. Okay, so listen. So this alien has the technology to resurrect the dead. Okay, so this alien can take DNA and then revive the person. And so regenerates Hazumu, the main character, but gets something wrong with the DNA. So then Hazumu, who was formerly a boy, is now a girl. So it's like Hazumu's like, oh, I'm alive again, and like, wait, I'm a girl. Like what? And then Hazumu's parents are like, well, we always wanted a girl anyway, so that's fine. Like, and then. Like what? And then so the rest of that one season series is all like, oh well, okay, here's what you have to do to live life as a girl now, and then as it turns out, Hazumu has two friends who are both in love with him, but now that he is a she, it's like, well, they don't care. Well, we're still in love with you. You just happen to be a girl, but then they're competing. And I'm like, why is there competition? Why can't everyone just love everyone? Why does Hazumu have to choose between Tomari and Yasuna? Like, what's up with that anyway? I never did understand that part. But the whole alien spaceship and gender switching thing made for the most funny series ever. It's too bad it never made it to America, but it was never released. Probably for the same reason they never released the 5th season of Sailor Moon. Because Americans are weak. Like it's funny. Like I say this I'm an American saying this to a British person. I get this. This is awkward. This is funny, but Americans are weak. They can't handle things most of the time, But I'm not like them. I was just born here, Americans are too easily offended. I'm serious. Like, people are offended if you don't believe their religion.
Oh yes, yeah.
Or if you voted for a different politician than them, then they want to murder you. Or if you misgender them, if you call them by the wrong pronoun, it's like, how was I supposed to know your gender identity? I don't know you. Like people are just too easily offended in America. Were you going to say something?
Yeah. Obviously, since Trump, from a British point of view, Trump isn't doing good in this country at the moment. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, politics is weird. And I try not to get into it, but it's like it's all anyone ever talks about. Oh. Wait, Kath is gone. Maybe her internet connection cut out. Not sure what's up with that. But that was definitely very fun having Kath on. So let's see here. Yeah, we talked about Sailor Moon. We talked about many different types of Japanese cartoons, and also Sailor Moon and My Little Pony, and Disney movies. Man, I talked about everything on this live stream. So, well, maybe I should probably end this live stream sometime soon, because I should probably get to bed at some point. But I also have another movie I want to watch. My friend Pafo recommended a movie called Songbird to me. And I'm kind of thinking I want to watch that movie, because that one is about the future where there's still a COVID lockdown, supposedly, something like that. So that sounds interesting. So yeah, I think I probably will end this broadcast very soon. But thank you, Kath and Monique, for talking to me as I tested out this live stream. And I believe this live stream will still be viewable on Facebook, that it will be recorded and still available for people to read. To watch later. And maybe it will even let people still read the comments too. That would be nice. I hope that people can read the comments that I've been able to read during this broadcast. So anyway, it's late, and I know that probably nobody's going to be watching anymore at this point. But thanks for joining me, Kath and Monique, and also thanks for reading my unicorn book, Kath. You're the first person to tell me you ever bought my book. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know when you finish that, how you like that. Write me a review, people. Seriously, I want people to read my book after all the months of work on it. Well, actually, it took 3 years to write that, but it was on and off. So I'm going to end the broadcast, but this has been a very fun night. Goodbye.